Your network is your net worth. Pea's network is vast and enabled Trapped Fruits to have inbound business coming their way from the get-go. However, as a business matures, you have to go out of your way to find more business to continue that journey of growth and development. One way to show your online authority is via SEO, or search engine optimization, using informative blog posts. In this Service Please snack, we talk about how to drive traffic to your site and show your network that you mean business. I think as well that sort of leads me on to, you have actually created quite a dynamic business model through the network of people in which you have, talking about your advertising that you have on the side, the shoots in which you've done. You've actually brought an arm of catering into your business as well, which I think has been able, I'm sure, to be able to allow you to navigate times when maybe the box subscriptions have dropped off 100%. Or things like that. So talk a little bit like why that's been a really interesting point, and also, you know, it's another arm of the food industry, which I'm sure you weren't aware of before, and how interesting and how challenging that is.
Yeah, okay, so as cheesy as it sounds, you know, when they say your network is your net worth, I believe it. Because now I've seen it firsthand with my own eyes with Trapped Fruits. Because I can actually put my hand on my heart and say, really, my network did help me a lot with this, you know, even down to you. You know, if you think about it, you're my pal, you're my friend, you're part of my network. You saw the stress that I was going through with all the boxes in my flat at the start, and you was like, P, look, you know, you could, look.
My unit's not being used.
Exactly.
We've stopped. Our world's stopped. We're not doing catering. Just go and do it at our unit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I then understood the power of the network, which again, you know, you could say is your community. You know, that is your community. Those are your people. You know, so Trapped Fruits really, 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 really made me understand, okay, yeah, your network is your net worth. Like, that is the most invaluable thing. You can't even put a price on it. You know, you can't even put a price on it. So going even to the catering arm, and yeah, I can be quite frank and say, yeah, catering really did, that kept the lights on when things were kind of getting a bit bleak, you know, and the boxes were dipping and the world opened up. Catering kind of kept us afloat. And even that came about through network as well, you know, like, a friend of mine, I can big her up, Nicola Surf. She works at Bleach London, and they were doing a shoot, and she just said, "Oh, Pete, can you bring along some fruit?" And I said, "Yeah, sure." You know, I said, "Look, just get some." You know, I think it was like Georgia May Jagger, a few kind of celebrities or whatever. I said, "Look, all I ask for is just get a picture with the fruit or something." And she said, "Oh no, we'll pay you." And I said, "Oh, what?"
We got budget, mate.
Yeah. She said, "We'll pay you." I was like, "Oh, really?" I was like, "Oh, okay." So brought the fruit along, you know, and but I would have been happy with the picture. I would have been happy with just a photo of a celebrity holding it, because that's currency in itself. You know, I know that's currency. I know what that's invaluable. I know what that can do. You know, so they paid us. And I was like, "Oh, okay," but it was just fruit at that time. And then the art director from that shoot loved it so much, you know, that was his first time engaging with it. He's like, "Oh, fuck, wow, this is what I want on set." So he went on to shoot, I think it was the Face magazine, Georgia Smith cover. And he took us along with him and was like, "Oh, look, can you do this?" And we're like, "Oh, great." And then it just kind of started going from there. And then someone told someone, and then it slowly built from there. And then it was, at that time, so Ramon, who works with us, Ramon the chef, he was like, "Oh, P, you know, we're giving them fruit so they can just have like on set all day to pick at, but they're ordering food. Why don't we just do hot food? Like, I'm a chef, I can make it." I was like, "You sure?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Okay, cool, write a menu and let me see it." He wrote a menu. I was like, no, this menu is too elaborate. You know, because he's a chef, so he wants to show off his skills, you know what I mean? So he's talking about all of these things. I'm like, no. We need to strip this all the way back, bro. And so that's what we did. And then, so yeah, it just started from there. And, you know, there was one shoot in particular, and it was a girl that I worked with, again, at Vice, you know, when I was freelancing, Anna, big her up as well. And she had gone over to Hypebeast as a producer. And she's like, "Oh yeah, Pia, like, I heard you're doing this like catering thing." And I was like, yeah, we could do it. And that was the one where we had to be on set. So we were cooking on set, live on set. And then I made a reel, for that. And then that reel became our calling card. You know, that was like to get a little bit more business and a little bit more work. And then, yeah, it just started going from there, really. But we've been quite lucky, fortunate enough that all of it's been inbound and come in. But the next stage now is that we want to go after the business. You know, we want to be a bit proactive and go after it. So, you know, when I'm talking about we're kind of doing a website and doing, you know, all of this content in the background, that would be part of the strategy to kind of aggressively go after that, you know, and aggressively go after our you know, people who had once shopped with us but are no longer here again, you know, aggressively go after them now and go, right, you know, what, hey, you once with us, you left, whatever the language is that we decide to use, but this is the strategy, this is the plan. So yeah, probably I think by like end of April, early May, we'll be ready, like all guns blazing sort of thing. Yeah.
One of the things that I've learned as well with online business is SEO, so search engine optimization, which I think for me was a big eye-opener. And I think because I've grown up as well with the social media and the Instagram, you know, it is so momentary. And I think someone once said to me that a blog post, I know it feels innate and you're like, okay, how do I do that? But it's there forever.
Yeah.
And if you create a great piece of content, so you could utilize that reel in which you've got, but then you could, like you've alluded to, it's that I want people to taste the best mangoes. If you can explain and be like, track where that mango's come from, and do a post that's like, this is why Trap Fruit do the best mangoes you can get.
Yeah.
People then find that and then they're like, right, and then they go to your website and then suddenly they've seen it and it's there forever. So if you create an amazing piece of content that's there forever, it's there.
Yeah.
And that's something in which, for me, I think wrapping my head around in the online business with like On the Table and stuff like that, it took me a long time to get there because I would been like for the last 10 years, I've just been like Instagram. That's where I get it, that's where I feed it. And I think a lot of people as well now have cottoned on to the fact that Instagram, people are just trying to sell something now. I think the authenticity has been removed a lot of the time for a lot of people and stuff like that.
Definitely.
So I think, that's going to be a big journey, I think, for you to be able to crack and understand and get on board with and stuff like that. And like you said, we're here to educate. We want to educate people.
Yeah, exactly. And there is power in, like you say, that type of content, you know, like more longer form or more valuable content, let's call it that, you know, content that holds a bit more value. And just other forms of comms, you know, other forms of communication. It's not, yes, a lot of our business came from Instagram, you know, and I could see on the site where the traffic came from. I could see like 8% did come from Instagram, but that's probably because we put 8% of our energy in Instagram. You know, that is literally that. You know, if you put 80% of our energy or 40% of our energy into email marketing or whatever, we would probably see, oh yeah, okay, it's come from email marketing. You know, so. Yeah. I think, yes, that data is great and we can look at it and go, right, 8% has come from Instagram, but it's because we put 8% of all our eggs into Instagram. So. Yeah.
And that's the thing, it's all about a learning curve, isn't it? And you know, continuously on that journey.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed that snack from the full episode with Pia Santi of Trap Fruits. If you could tell one other person about this podcast or even use their phone to like, follow and share, it will be much appreciated. You can also go one step further and become a patron of the podcast via www.serviceplease.io. Any monthly contributions will help amplify the voices of the hospitality and wider food industry, enabling more people to understand the innovations and daily struggles of one of the most dynamic sectors, and of course, the tastiest.